Arizona Sunshine 2 is exactly what I imagined a VR shooter to be, and that's not a good thing. It's a sequel to a well-liked early VR classic. If you're new to VR, this should be one of the games you start with. I may have set myself up for disappointment by playing Batman as my first VR game, because this game just cannot compare. Before we get into that, what is Arizona Sunshine 2? A zombie breakout has occurred and you play as a lone survivor. You can play in co-op, but that's not acknowledged in any way. Our guy has started to lose his mind a bit and talks to himself a lot. He also talks to the zombies, which he calls Fred. Early on you find a dog called Buddy, so it's up to you and Buddy to traverse Arizona in search for help. The story isn't particularly interesting, not a lot happens for the vast majority of the game. You spend most of the game moving through locations only to realise you're still not where you need to be. The only time I got invested was literally at the end of the game where things actually started happening. It's a shame the game has an abrupt ending which feels like a robbed payoff. The survivor can be funny at times when he's talking to himself. He is basically the only character in the game, so if you find him annoying, you better get used to it. The humour is dark and the tone is self-aware and silly. It's a simple survival story that we've seen before, definitely not one I'm going to remember. Exactly like the gameplay. I might be being too harsh here, but there isn't a lot going on. It is fun to shoot zombies and blow their heads off. Reloading weapons is surprisingly the game's standout feature. With each weapon you have to eject the mag, pop a new one in and pull back the slider. It is very satisfying to pull off and can be hard to do when swarmed by zombies, and that's kind of where the innovation stops. There's no variety in the zombies, just one type of walkers. I know some people give zombie games a hard time for copying Left 4 Dead Special Infected, but it's better to do that than have no special zombies. They never felt like a threat, just an obstacle. The only times we died were when we were messing around or some got spawned behind us. For the guns, on the surface the variety is there, but functionally everything blends together. None feel more weighty than others, and none feel more powerful. It didn't really matter what gun I picked up, they could all do the job. Same with the melee weapons. There are different types like crowbars, shovels or axes, but all are used the same. Some sort of customization when it came to the weapons would have helped immensely. I thought this was going to be the case as you can pick up resources in the level. This is used in the crafting system. Every so often in levels you can find crafting boxes where you can make throwables like grenades or molotovs, which is a great idea but it wasn't great in practice. I always had plenty of resources, so it was never a tough decision what to make. Then you can only carry 2 throwables at most, but this means you can't carry any melee weapons. You can store 4 more on the dog, but it can be hard to grab it off him when he's running. If you could craft more anywhere, we would have probably used them more. The lack of variety translates into the level design. Every level is going from A to B, maybe you have to find a key to open a door. There is nothing to find in levels besides ammo, which there is plenty of. The game is lacking in memorable set pieces. There are some like climbing across a moving train, but they are few and far between. After heading into the sewers for the 4th time, I was getting bored with the game. It never escalates, it just continues. The dog did not help with this. Yes, he is cute and you can pet him. He just didn't add a lot for me. He will attack Freds in combat, which is nice. He's mainly used in the puzzles. Every puzzle boils down to the same interaction. I can't get to the key, Buddy fetched the key, then he does. The main thing that got me through this was playing in co-op. A game's always better with a mate. The game doesn't seem to be designed with co-op in mind. This is definitely one of those cases where they made a single player first and added co-op after. At one point you will lose your weapons and get handcuffed to a pipe. The other player cannot move until you uncuff yourself. Then there will be stuff like only spawning one weapon or not being able to give your partner a gun. It's little things, but they could have gone a long way. Graphically the game looks good, environments are detailed and full of character. I did come across a lot of visual glitches whilst playing, like zombies clipping through walls, but that's stuff you would expect. It looks good enough that the technical issues stand out more. I'm supposed to give VR games a slight pass because of how they are. If this wasn't VR, would I like it? Probably not. Ultimately I had fun with Arizona Sunshine 2. I just wasn't too impressed. The gunplay is good, but is let down by repetitive levels and lack of zombie variety. Time to rank it. I'm thinking number 53. I had more fun shooting here than in House of the Dead, so it's going above that. But I can't put it above Whiplash. That game had more charm and was more engaging. New number 53, they should have called it Arizona Sunset.